This is why we think it will attract a broader audience interested in history from a different and personal point of view. My dad was part of a left student organization back in the 70s that was left aside by Juan Domingo Perón in his second period, the right-wing period. This had a huge impact on me, and this is one of the reasons I want to make this movie and try to understand how Peronism became, at that time, a right-wing movement. So the story is based on the 70s and in the character of Isabel Perón. She was the second wife of Juan Domingo Perón after the dramatic death of Eva. Perón, already old, sick, and lost, decided to prepare Isabel as the new candidate, and she embodies the right-wing phase of Peronism, backed by the CIA, that involved political repression, state terrorism, intelligence operation, and the assassination of left-wing socialist leaders such as Ernesto Che Guevara and Salvador Allende, and was named Operation Condor. And this name, it is a key for the construction of this film, and I will be coming back to this. After Perón's death, she became the first woman in history to be the president of a Republican country. Lacking any gift as a political leader, she decided to pursue a ceremony in which she extracts by supernatural means the soul of the mummified corpse of Eva Perón, a transplant to get the dose of charisma that she lacks. I would like here to show original material of Isabel at that time, just as a reference, because it is not my intention to recreate them, but yet there is something there, like a gene, that shows how she is out of tune, visually and emotionally, from every situation she is in. And what if I told you the plot of Vertigo is true, but the story even more perversively rooted in the traumatic history of a dictatorship, in a nation's obsession with a woman who became a goddess and a savior, and in the real-life attempt to reincarnate her body of her successor. Faust is a fable based on life events of Isabel in an observational narrative film that takes generic elements of the psychological thriller, the espionage story, the intimate drama, and the supernatural terror straight out of her biography and breaks them apart. Why a fable? Because fables are very concrete and condensed stories, and this film would happen in one night and 2 days. Why a fable? Because in fables, everything is possible and ideas or feelings are expressed by visual metaphors. The film allows Isabel to think and feel that the soul transplant was a success by opening a time frame in which her desire is able to modify reality, reality meaning the visuals of the film. But the time frame will eventually close, as in fables, and like in fairy tales, and she will be bewitched. It is well known that the mummified corpse of Evita has received assaults of any kind, a broken nose, a missing finger, and sexual abuse. After the ritual, Isabel is becoming physically Eva. Her hair is becoming the same. She will be suddenly missing a finger. She will accidentally break her nose, and she will be sexually assaulted. It will become clear that Isabel's body is suffering the assaults that the corpse of Eva Perón had received instead of Eva's soul or charisma. After the window is closed, it would be clear also her fascist attitude in which she performs and promotes acts of state terrorism, allowing the military forces to take over power, being represented by the visuals, by the visual military elements that will gradually invade the house with an army aesthetics. So it'd be from a home to a military fort. Why a fable? Because in fable, animals have human characteristics or vice versa. The characters of the film will constantly have pets accompanying them, and later in the film, some of them will be just replaced by them. Bats, horses, dogs, condors. A condor will be accompanying the character that helps the army get over the power, and it would be a metaphor definitely of the Operation Condor. A couple of pinto horses will be associated with the sisters of Eva Perón that in this fable, they will have a type of skin called vitiligo that really resembles the pinto horses. The bats and 2 Dobermans will be accompanying and representing alternatively Isabel Perón. As a closure, I would like to share this video that contains 2 of my main references for Faust, or cinematic references for Faust, Luz Silenciosa by Carlos Regadas and The Death of Louis XIV by Albert Serra. Luz Silenciosa, for those who haven't seen it, leads with allowing a fantastic opening of a time frame in which a resurrection is possible, and the film earns that vision. Also, there is a symmetry that the film proposes as a painting as a geometrical frame that I also would like to explore in Faust. The Death of Louis XIV deals with the Baroque lighting and the idea of representation of power through a choreograph and painting manners, and of course, how he portrays death. Both films deal with death, having an emphasis in the body as a bridge between life and death, and that idea is something that I want to explore in Faust. So let's see the video and then I will finish. I would like to thank you so much, everyone, for hearing.